to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. Brown goes inside. Oh, what a slam from Jalen Brown. Oh, Pritchard banks in the three at the buzzer. Great in and out dribble. Oh, he set off the smoke detector.
What's up, everyone, and welcome in to your Celtic Source, home of your Cancun Boston Celtics. But, that's okay. We got a long offseason ahead, but I wanted to take the time to quickly do a little reaction on Brad Stevens' exit interview, but then mostly talk about, the four teams remaining. Indiana taking on New York, and then a battle out west between Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they're going to be hitting a lot of threes, as in 3 6-packs of beer a day on the beach kind of threes, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
But so be it. So be it. Onward and upward. What were your thoughts on Brad Stevens' exit interview? I thought it was interesting. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he didn't go deep into any of the offseason stuff, as we knew he wasn't going to. I thought he was, I thought it was interesting. It doesn't mean anything, but he, the two biggest things I took away from it was, first of all, Jalen Brown, how, he's going to be, whether he's just bumping up his trade value, he was speaking highly of him, as in maybe Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown will be here next year. We know Jason Tatum's going to be here.
Right. Do you think Brown is untouchable?
No, I don't think Brown's
I don't think he is either. And I think that's an interesting kind of turn of events. I think the bar is going to be really high, but I don't think he's untouchable.
Yeah, there's been some interesting trade proposals out there for Jalen Brown.
Well,
pretty interesting
trade proposals. They're not real until you get an actual offer.
Correct. But some, fans saying,
sure,
trying it out. Lakers are in the mix, obviously. I don't know if you're not trading Jalen Brown to the Lakers.
No
Maybe
way.
Kristaps Porzingis, but you're not giving Brown.
No.
There were some whole Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura draft picks for Jalen Brown. It was some crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of people like us who just like to yap, let's be honest. So, we'll see. I think, just when you listen to Brad, Tatum is untouchable, obviously because of injury, but even without the injury, I think he's untouchable, right? And I actually think the only other untouchable person is White.
Yeah, White is so valuable. If you could get so much for White, then it might be worth it.
But if you think you're only a few moves away from going back to the finals, you don't want. It's not like you're resetting here. So I feel like Tatum and White are untouchable. I think there's a lot of others they don't want to move, but I don't think anybody else is actually untouchable. And you got to give Brad Stevens credit. When he took over, he made tough decisions and he made them fast. Marcus Smart, tough decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
He really moved quickly to reshape that roster, and it worked. So he's got his hands tied a little bit behind his back. I'm looking forward to seeing, what happens before the draft. And then, I think he's going to try and move before the draft, right? Pretty good draft this year. So supposed to be really good draft next year too.
You're not getting anything with the bottom picks. So maybe they'll try and move up. I don't think that's the path they're going to go. I think they're going to try and get draft picks later down the road.
I think
instead of this year.
I think, but if you could get a good piece this year, because I think, you're not going to get a top 5 pick no matter what. I just going to assume here. So whoever you're picking, a year or two in the league makes a big difference. You see on the development side, right? Look at Pritchard, look at how Shireman's developing, all these guys. So,
and there is the also interesting fact that now that you can get paid in college, if you're getting drafted 28, 29, you might decide to stay in college with, the money that you probably wouldn't make, especially you get more playing. You get more playing time and make more money in college.
I don't know. I don't know if you're getting drafted. I don't know what your an NIL deal is going to be for the top of the second round kind of thing. I don't know. It's a good question. But if you declare for the draft and get drafted, can you then decline and go back to college? I don't actually know. I know you can do that in baseball. Baseball, you can get drafted.
They do it all the time, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know about basketball.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what young Brad gives to us over the coming weeks. We'll be watching. I got my eye, I think, on what everybody has their eye on, which is Wolves OKC. That's gonna be a fireworks of a series.
Yeah. We'll start with that series. Anthony Edwards, right? He's coming off a solid performance against the Warriors.
I'd say above solid.
Yeah. The Warriors defense was good. So I'm not like when we talk about, the Warriors missing Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler not playing well, you can't, take away from what the Wolves did on offense. Like you can take away it was an easy series because their defense was able to hold down the Warriors. But the Warriors defense is arguably better with those two off the floor. So
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I just feel like Anthony Edwards has really come into his own. Like he just was, I don't want to say dominant because he wasn't, but he was a little bit like Brunson for the Knicks, a consistent force. Like every time he was playing, he was delivering, right? And so I think the Wolves are a tough team.
Yeah, the improvement that he's made this season has just been incredible to watch, right? He comes into the season, those first couple games, he's complaining about getting double teamed, on how he has to give the ball up on like every play and how he just wants to score.
Yeah.
And now you see him in these playoffs giving the ball up, and then he gets the ball back from his beautiful playmaking, which allows him to get open shots instead of, forcing up contested threes.
You mean you think he's realized it's a team sport?
Yeah. Some people still got to figure that out in this league.
Some people do, right? We'll see. It takes a whole team. I have to also, on the other side though, SGA, I mean, he's just a playmaker, right?
Continues to get fouls called from all over the place though.
I mean, it's ridiculous, the fouls he gets. I think this game, I'll tell you right now, I think this series goes to 7 games. I really do. I think it does. And I think I'm in the minority. I think Wolves win.
I have the Wolves as well. I have the Wolves as well in 7.
I think so. I think it's going to be – I think every game is going to be tight. I mean, you might get a blowout one way or the other, but I just think it's going to be a contested battle all the way down. And I do not feel that way about the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. How do you feel about this Karl Anthony Towns versus Julius Randle trade? Right at the beginning of the season, it felt like
looked like a bust,
a hard start in New York, and he couldn't get going. Julius Randle in Minnesota, but now they play.
They're both kind of cooking.
Yes, but they play different styles, right? Ant is a much more fast-paced, get to the rim, whereas Julius Randle's more methodical, slow, sort of pound the paint kind of guy. He does occasionally shoot threes, but it's very different styles, and they seem to have figured it out here.
It's one of those. I think interesting trades, which I think are less than half the trades, maybe a third of the trades, where it's actually worked out for both sides in different ways. Like a lot of times, one team gets the better than the other. Like I would argue, Dallas, LA. I mean, I think LA won that trade, right? We'll see.
Yeah.
But
I mean, obviously this trade was not purely based on they want this player. It was all money based, as a lot of these trades are now these days. Yeah. With the new, taxes and whatever, right? Like Minnesota had to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns for money, and they happened to get something back that has seemed to work so far in these playoffs. But
and look, I think that's a testament to the GM, right? Like a good GM these days, and we've talked about this a lot on our other shows around baseball. Like a good GM doesn't just draft and keep all the prospects. the job of the GM is to know who the keepers and winners and who you trade. And so the same thing in basketball where you're really bumping up against the salary cap and you've really got limitations. And, not all ownership is willing to spend $500 million a year, right? Which I don't blame them. So you got to know, like, when's the time to sell? Well, who can we plug in a piece that's, half the price that can do 3/4 the work, right? And I think a good GM really works that stuff out. And then there's Dallas. So.
I'm worried. I'm worried that the Wolves are going to struggle against OKC's defense.
I think so. I think you're right. I think it'll be interesting to see if they can figure it out.
It's going to be taken out of every possession, doubled, and so it's going to be up to the rest of the 4 guys to play basically 4 and 3. So will they be able to play 4 and 3? I don't know. No team has really found an answer to it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think that's the right question. I mean, I still think Ant's going to get some of his points, right? He's too good to not put up 20-something points. But, I'm watching his assist number, right? I want to see that number be double digits because I think that's how you win. Yeah. If
other guys have to play well enough that OKC has to shift their defense back onto 1v1, and then Ant can start cooking.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I think they're going to win either when he gets 35 and like 4 assists, right? Meaning that like he's done enough that they leave him open, or they win when he gets 21 and 12 assists, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the danger zone is 24 and 3 assists or 4 assists or 5 assists. I mean, like he doesn't score enough points and doesn't get enough assists, meaning they're really getting shut down.
There are very few guys that come into the league as like a double threat in terms of points and assists, right? Luka's one of them. Jokic has become one of them.
Yeah.
But for most people, most stars, you get the scoring first, and then it takes a while to get the assist numbers up. And Jason Tatum, right, this year, he started to get those assist numbers up.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can continue when he gets healthy. But like Anthony Edwards, last year he wasn't there yet. This year he's starting to get there, I feel like. And he's I think the face of the league, especially if they win this series. I'm calling him face. The media is going to call him face of the league, right?
You think well, let me ask you a question. First of all, there's no Pacer that can be the face of the league. Like Halliburton is not going to be Pacer. I'm looking at all 4 teams. Yeah. There's nobody on the Pacers who's the face of the league. Like just Halliburton's great, but it's just not. If the Knicks win, though, I think
Jalen Brunson.
There's a case to be made that
especially because
I don't like it, but
the NBA wants New York to win.
Huh?
The NBA wants New York to win, which we can pivot over to that right now.
Absolutely, they want New York to win.
Yes,
no question. They would love nothing better than, New York, the Knicks versus Lakers if they could have it or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, so I think I don't think it's going to be nearly as close. If the Pacers play the way they played against the Heat, I mean, they should annihilate the Knicks. Annihilate might be a strong word. They should handle them and they should win in 5 or 6 the way the Celtics should have won in 5 or 6. But clearly,
it depends. If it's a close game, are you taking Tyrese Halliburton or Jalen Brunson? Because Tyrese Halliburton's had 2 games where they've been down 7 with a minute to go, and they found a way to win against the Cavs.
Yeah, insane. Insane.
I just think Jalen Brunson's the better clutch player. So
he's pretty clutch. But I'm gonna call the series. I'm gonna go all the way to the end here, and I'm gonna say it's Wolves in 7. Though it's marginal, but I'm gonna go Wolves in 7. I'm going to go Pacers in 5, actually, and then I think
I'm torn on this series. I just, if the Pacers get out in transition, they'll win this series. If New York can have any sort of consistency on defense, which I don't know if they will. They did so against the Celtics, but that was more Celtics missing shots.
I guess I feel like
Pacers aren't going to be able to stop New York. So
I know, but the Pacers were so dominant against the Heat. Like they just
Cavs.
Cavs, sorry. They were just so dominant against the Cavs. I just feel like if they play like that, New York doesn't stand a chance. I don't care how many points Brunson puts up, right? It's just like now, like so I feel like they're really peaking at the right time. I feel like the Knicks won 2 games, not 4. And I feel like the Celtics blew
one, 2 Celtics blew all 4.
Yeah, exactly. So again, credit to the Knicks, right? They won, and like I'm not actually disparaging them, but I don't think they won against a team that was playing well versus the Pacers. I think against the Cavs, like beat the Cavs, kind of thing. So
that's fair.
I think the edge is there, and I just think the Pacers are in top form at the right time. Yeah.
Is Tyrese Halliburton, if they go to the finals this year, whether they win or not, is he a top 5 guard in this league? You have Jalen Brunson, you have Steph Curry, you have Anthony Edwards, you have Shea. See that 5th spot? Trying to think of who else. He's better than Harden now. He's better than Kawhi. He's better than.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to argue that he's not. I mean,
is he better than Donovan Mitchell? I don't. I'm close on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was better than him in the series, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Cavs were also banged up and injured.
Yeah, pretty banged up. True. Is he better than Pritchard? Pritchard's unguardable. He's the only unguardable.
I knew you were bringing.
He's the only unguardable one of the NBA. Hey, it's not a Celtics show. We don't mention that Peyton Pritchard is unguardable every show.
I'm gonna do a video this weekend. Maybe you'll join me. I don't know where we say can the Celtics contend without Tatum, and the 3 guys on my thumbnail that I'm designing is gonna be White, Pritchard, and Brown. So
clearly.
Is that the starting lineup next year, along with Cornette maybe and?
I don't think we're going to start Cornette. I don't think we're going to start Cornette. I really don't.
Who are you going to get?
I don't know.
I mean,
if they ship Porzingis, well, anyway, that's another show.
Apparently, Al Horford has a house in Western Mass as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
All right. Some people
but
like it.
It's been on sale since they won the chip. So
that's the one that's been up for sale? Not the Brookline one?
No, the Brookline one's been up for sale.
I can't believe it hasn't sold because.
But yeah, final predictions here. We'll keep it short tonight.
Yeah. Wolves in 7, Pacers in 5.
And then who you got winning?
I got Wolves.
Wolves over Pacers in
6 or 7. It's gonna go the distance.
I have Wolves in 7. I have Pacers in 6. I think New York eats out another win. Yeah. And then I'm actually gonna take, if that's the series, I'm taking Wolves in 5.
No.
Really? You think? I just feel like the Wolves
Pacers are going to
have a problem against the Pacers.
Pacers are going to come in rested, though, if they have a short series. Wolves are going to be banged up. I mean, I don't know.
What are the odds for OKC? Let me find it right here.
I got you. What are we looking for? Wolves. Well, I got the interns.
Wolves OKC.
Wolves OKC to win.
Yeah. Who's the favorite?
OKC is the favorite to win the whole thing.
That makes sense. They've been the favorite since mid-January. So,
well, hey, how about this interesting stat? They have the odds for the 25-26 championship season out.
Yeah.
Who's the number one? Who's the favorite to win next year?
Next year?
OKC. It's OKC. Plus 250. Who's second?
Is this like a trick question?
Or? No, just who do you think next year? There's actually 2 teams tied on the odds, but Who do you think is the number 2 favorite to win the championship next year?
Rockets? Celtics still?
Plus 850. Same as the Cavs, plus 850.
Just them like thinking they're going to be fine. Like, I don't know if they.
They have the same data, so I'm just saying. All right.
There's no way they think that.
Okay, well, this is interesting. The top odds for the final matchup: New York versus Oklahoma City, plus 115.
Yeah, people think New York's going to win.
Pacers versus Thunder, plus 190. So not that far off. Knicks Timberwolves. Nobody thinks Pacers Timberwolves. That's plus 775.
Yeah.
Are we betting that?
You should bet like $5.
$5, all right. We do not condone betting on this show, but maybe or maybe not. We will place $5 on this wager. No comment. We do not endorse betting. Always know your limits. Okay, and $43.75 potential winnings. That will pay for the cost of the show. All right. Final thought. We got one game on tonight. What are you going to watch for?
Well, both teams are mostly rested. OKC is the least rested of the two. I think this is a potential game where Minnesota comes out and sort of shocks OKC. They get a first game.
Comes out aggressive, right?
I do think OKC is winning at least one of these at home here. They could win both easily. This could be a series that actually OKC just blows them out, and we were all wrong on this. Like, it could go either way. Yeah. You could get a tight series, or you could get OKC blowing them out. I don't think you're getting a thing where the Wolves blow out OKC.
No, I think OKC is too. Yeah, I agree. I think they're just too polished, too confident. They're not. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. First pitch is just about now, and
we'll see. I mean, they're just started here in the first quarter, so we'll see how this rest of the game goes.
All right.
But we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow on social media. We will be back on this weekend doing a little bit more Celtics off season, trying to eke out anything we can. It's all just a waiting game now. But then obviously we'll have reactions to conference finals games throughout the week and next week. So until next time, go C's.
Go C's. See you out there, people.
It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured.